George Washington by stepping aside and saving the country, saving the party. The only problem is he had to step aside from the presidency. If Biden is too weak and frail to run for election, how can he be strong enough to be the commander-in-chief? I would like to see Ben Jones pontificate on that. I'm James C. Harris for the Black Information Network.
All the black news you trust every 30 minutes on the Black Information Network. The Bay Area's PIN 910.
Here's what's trending at this hour. Primaries are underway in Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, and Washington. The ex-office in San Francisco will close. The Red Cross continues its plea for donations, and that's what's trending.
Sports on the Black Information Network. It's the last week of the Olympic Games in Paris, France. The United States continues to increase its medal count over other countries. China is second, followed by France.
How much are individual gold medals worth in each country by territory?
Here's Shannon and Chad on iHeartMedia's hottest sports podcast, The Nightcap.
Wait, we only get 37,000?
We should at least 200,000. Noah Lyles trained 4 years for 9 seconds.
37,000. You done bust your ass for 4 years straight to represent our country, and the payout saying thank you for the work you put in is 37,000. Come on, man.
A veteran player for the New York Jets is hanging up his cleats. Tyreek Cohen says he's retiring from the NFL. The 29-year-old running back and kick returner last played in the league in 2020 for the Bears. He suffered a knee injury and later tore his Achilles in 2022. A lot of question marks in Jerry's world. What is going on with the Dallas Cowboys? Here's Dave Hellman from Fox Sports.
We're running this whole off-season evaluation of the Cowboys under the umbrella of them being all in, whatever Jerry Jones seemingly meant when he said that. And I think talent overall, for the most part, they got good value with most of the guys they've taken.
Get your sports at 14 and 44 past each and every hour. I'm Ray Harris on the Black Information Network.
Bank of America Corporation is proud to be a founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
I'm Bill Black with another Bet You Didn't Know music fact. We all know this song. That's Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, recorded in 1970. It's a song about war, racism, and things African Americans were going through at that time. Now on background vocals of this song were legendary Detroit Lions Lynn Berry and Mel Farr. After he recorded the song, Gaye told Berry and Farr he wanted to try out for the Detroit Lions. Because Lions coach Jim Smith was a fan of Marvin, he agreed to take the meeting, but when he found out he had never played football, not even in high school, he said no to a tryout. So even though Marvin never got to give us classic football moves, he left us with a legacy of songs.
Where the fuck is this damn asshole at?
On the Black Information
Hello? I texted you a fucking hour ago.
On the Black Information
It feels like an hour ago because I confused it.
I got them bitter, lows of a winner. Every second with being great is a lot on my plate. Never broke again, I'm blacker than the NBA. ESPN couldn't cover all of my...
Nas is working on a new concept album with Hamilton's creator Lin-Manuel Miranda. The album, titled Warriors, is inspired by the film The Warriors. According to a press release, the 26-track project features a star-studded cast of voices, which will be revealed before the album's release date on October 18th. The album, like the 1979 film, will follow the story of the Warriors, a Coney Island-based gang that fights other New York gangs as they try to return home from the Bronx one night after another gang leader was assassinated. Elsewhere in entertainment news, T-Pain isn't putting up with rowdy crowds while he's on stage. According to All Hip Hop, the rapper addressed the crowds for nearly 3 minutes after getting beer cans and other objects thrown at him during his Thursday show at the Mississippi Valley Fair. The rapper threatened to walk off the stage saying he can leave and still get paid the same amount. He also told the audience that he's not obligated to stay and perform, but he did want to continue having fun. T-Pain is far from the only artist to deal with fans throwing things on stage. In April, Nicki Minaj threw an object back into the crowd after almost being hit by it on stage. With the latest in entertainment news, I'm Morgan Wood on the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather.
On the Bay Area's BIN 910.
Still going in Milpitas, the culprit, a two-car wreck in your left lane, 880 southbound after Dixon Landing Road. You jammed 10 minutes from 84. In Hayward, there's a crash blocking your left lane to 880 northbound after Whipple Road that has you slow and go 4 minutes from Fremont Boulevard. That's involving 3 cars. And in Oakland, a collision involving 2 cars has been moved to your shoulder, 580 westbound before the 80 interchange. And you are bumper to bumper from the 980-24 split. Over to San Francisco, stop and go 2 minutes, 101 northbound between Silver Avenue and the hospital curve, and getting there over the Bay Bridge, 80 westbound between the end of the parking lot and the metering lights, heavy there, sluggish across the span to Fremont Street. Checking the area weather, the inland heat soars to 100 today. Make sure you drink lots of water. We'll climb to almost 80 in Oakland. With Bay Area traffic and weather, Jasmine Summers on the Black Information Network.
He said he wanted to do a TV show or something. Wonder whatever happened to that guy. I'm Bill Black, and that's another Bet You Didn't Know Music fact on the Black Information Network.
I'm Trey Thomas.
And I'm Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential campaign is launching Republicans for Harris.
The group boasts endorsements from over 24 Republicans. It aims to win over anti-Trump Republicans and moderate independents. The GOP endorsements come from the likes of former Connecticut Congressman Christopher Schaitt and former Illinois Congressman Joe Walsh. Others voicing their support for the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee include former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld and former New Jersey Governor Christine Todd Whitman. I'm Terry McCready on the Black Information Network.
Representative James Clyburn of South Carolina is dismissing GOP predictions that former President Trump could get as much as 15% of the black vote. The black Democratic lawmaker made the comment during an interview with CNN.
And I do not see 15% among them voting for Donald Trump, and every one of them have been energized by the influence of Kamala Harris in this race.
Fox News reports that Clyburn went on to cite his involvement with the African Methodist Episcopal Church, the Divine Nine, and Prince Hall Masons, saying he's seeing a surge in Trump support in those organizations.
Caribbean leaders met for 2 days last week in storm-ravaged Grenada. Sister Islands Carriacou and Petite Martinique were pummeled by Hurricane Beryl. Amsterdam News reports the leaders expressed fears that storms and climate change are becoming more than an existential threat to the 15-nation bloc. Leaders in the Caribbean community say they will continue to advocate for climate justice, saying the storms are forcing them to rebuild rather than develop their economies.
And a former Denver, Colorado police recruit is suing the department over a hazing ritual known as Fight Day that cost him both his legs. According to USA Today, 29-year-old Victor Moses, who is black, alleges he was forced to participate in a police training exercise that simulates arrest and assault. The lawsuit says the force during training was excessive and caused him to become unresponsive after an officer put his body weight on him, causing him to say, "I can't breathe." He was taken to the hospital where he underwent multiple surgeries and had to have his legs amputated. Moses is seeking compensatory and punitive damages.
NBA star LeBron James has opened a Starbucks in his hometown of Akron, Ohio, but the franchise will be serving up more than just coffee. The 46 employees of what's called House 33 will also earn job training certificates in hospitality. The workers will receive business development training in event planning, food service, and janitorial work. For more news impacting the black community, listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log on to BINnews.com. I'm Trey Thomas along with Bree Wood on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
HBCUs enroll nearly 10% of all black college students and produce 17% of all black graduates with bachelor's degrees. Learn how you can support HBCUs at uncf.org. Black News in 30 minutes.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
It's free and little favorable for buyers. One of the big changes to the real estate market, helping low to moderate income families, is the 40-year mortgage. In the past, a 30-year mortgage was the longest term you could get, but now many lenders are even offering a 50-year mortgage on jumbo loans. Keep in mind, no matter how long you stretch out the loan, that money has to be repaid. So be careful not to overburden yourself. One way to do that is to look for down payment assistance. And remember how important it is to get a low interest rate. Home buying resources are usually available through your city, county, and state. And if you get behind on your mortgage, remember to operate in good faith with your lender. Answer the phone, reply to their correspondence, and ask the lender for help. Lenders have all types of resources available, including refinance options, a forbearance, or deferment. Money News at 54 minutes past each hour. I'm Nicole Deal on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Black news from black journalists.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Bree Wood.
And I'm Trey Thomas on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
The new chairwoman of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation Board of Directors has reported receiving death threats since taking over in April 2022. Cicely Gay broke her silence on the matter during a recent interview with the Streets Morning Takeover radio show in Atlanta, Georgia. As a board member of the nonprofit, I never thought I would be part of the amount of accusations, hatred that I received. And the worst part about it, I was ready for white people. I wasn't ready for black people. Gay says she remains committed to advancing the organization's mission and advocating for justice and equality.
Three prominent progressive politicians of color, Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Jamal Bowman, who is black, and Ilhan Omar, are facing a class action lawsuit. The lawsuit filed by 5 anonymous Columbia University students in New York accuses them of inciting and encouraging anti-Israel protests and an encampment at the university earlier this year. According to the New York Post, the students claim the protests, which included burning an Israeli flag and violent actions, disrupted their education and created a hostile environment. And in a bold move, a group of anti-Trump Republicans has launched a new ad campaign targeting swing states.
The ads, which are appearing on streaming platforms in Michigan, Texas, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, highlight the former President Trump's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, criminal cases, and controversial statements. According to the Huffington Post, the campaign, led by Republican voters against Trump, has spent more than $3 billion for the ads, hoping to sway GOP voters. I'm Mimi Brown on the Black Information Network. And actor Wesley Snipes has claimed 2 Guinness World Records after his appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine. Snipes now holds the record for the longest career as a live-action Marvel character. His return as Blade came nearly 26 years after he first played the character in 1998. Snipes also claimed the Guinness World Record for the longest gap between character appearances in a Marvel film. The last time he played Blade was over 19 years ago. I'm Bree Wood, along with Trey Thomas, on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network. Your Healthy Minute is up next.
A new study shows that fish oil supplements might increase the risk of heart disease and stroke in healthy people, but they can benefit those with existing cardiovascular disease. Researchers found that healthy individuals taking fish oil had a 13% higher risk of developing atrial fibrillation and 5% higher risk of stroke. However, those with cardiovascular disease, fish oil reduced the risk of heart attack and death. According to online publication Healthline, experts advise healthy people to avoid fish oil supplements and instead get omega-3s from foods like fatty fish. For those with cardiovascular disease, fish oil can have anti-inflammatory benefits and stabilize heart health. Alternatives like flaxseed oil, chia seeds, and other heart-supporting supplements may be safer for overall heart health. Always consult with a healthcare provider before making changes. is supplement through taste. That's your Healthy Minute. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, MBytes.com.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
When trust matters, count on PIN.
The Black Information Network.
Bay Area, PIN 910.
Harold George Belafonte Jr. was born March 1st, 1927 in Harlem, New York. He served in the U.S. Navy during World War II and then began his career as a singer in the 1950s. I had to leave a little girl in His music combined elements of calypso and other Caribbean rhythms, and he became known for his hits like Deo and Jump in the Line. Belafonte also acted in several TV shows and films, including the groundbreaking 1957 film I Was Here. Working alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and other civil rights leaders, he used his platform to raise awareness on issues such as apartheid in South Africa and the fight for voting rights in the United States. Mr. Belafonte passed away on April 25th at the age of 90, but his legacy will continue to live through his contributions to civil rights. Rest in power to the one and only Harry Belafonte. This is Black Information Network. Black Information Network.
Listen at BINnews.com or tell your smart device to play the Black Information Network on iHeartRadio.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Ford. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Multiple reports say Vice President Kamala Harris has picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. We're learning about reaction from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis as he talks about Kamala Harris's pick of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. In a post on X, DeSantis called the Harris-Walz ticket the most lynch-win ticket in American history. HBCU Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia, receiving its largest ever donation. Michael R. Goldberg, the philanthropic organization, announced this week that it's giving Morehouse $175 million. And again, our top story for this hour, multiple reports say Vice President Kamala Harris has picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, Black Information Network.
The VP picks her VP. Vice President Kamala Harris chooses Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to join her in her historic run for the White House. Anticipation has been building in the high-stakes sweepstakes, and it will be the 60-year-old Democrat who once served in the House. Walz is thought to be an asset in those Midwestern battleground states. The latest poll shows VP Kamala Harris leading by 1 point nationally, and in the battleground, she and Donald Trump are tied. This from the CBS YouGov poll released over the weekend, as she continues to ride the momentum of enthusiasm into the future. But we are not going back.
There is one case so far Donald Trump has not been able to make go away. The sentencing in the hush money trial can't proceed. That's the decision from the right-leaning U.S. Supreme Court. Justices did not rule in his favor this time. That means Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who is black, can continue with plans for a sentencing September 18th. Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up the hush money payment to adult film stars Stormy Daniels.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
What Donald Trump claims got a big fat fact check by Reuters News. Reuters went back over years of Kamala Harris's speeches and interviews just to confirm what we already know. Harris always identified as a black woman of South Asian descent. In fact, in a 2016 New York Times Magazine feature referring to her and her sister, she talked about how her Indian mother raised 2 black girls.
Things were so bad for 12 workers in an asphalt pavement company, the EEOC got more than $1 million in a federal lawsuit settlement. Black men were called the N-word repeatedly, subjected to demeaning working conditions. To get this, they even used the bathroom inside and had to relieve themselves outdoors. Asphalt paving system with offices in Florida, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Tennessee must do yearly anti-discrimination training for workers as part of the $1.25 billion million settlement.
Grab a folding chair and throw a hat up in the air. Social media is remembering that racial brawl on the Montgomery, Alabama waterfront. It's been 1 year since a group of whites attacked riverboat co-captain Damian Pickett after the black man asked numerous times for them to move their boat so the riverboat could dock in its usual space. So he moved it slightly, and it all broke loose. First, Pickett threw his hat in the air and was taking on the group alone until a bunch of others, mainly blacks, came to his rescue, even using a folding chair in an all-out brawl. On social media, stay connected with the BIN on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Black Information Network. Catch us on X at BlackInfoNet. I'm Vanessa Tyler with Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Time now for traffic and weather
On the Bay Area BIN 910.
Let's start in Oakland, where a crash is blocking your right lane, 580 westbound before MacArthur Boulevard. A two-car wreck has you jammed from the 980-24 split. In Benicia, your left lane is blocked, 680 southbound at 780, causing a 13-minute bottleneck from Lake Herman Road. And the Bay Bridge, a little heavy 80 westbound between the end of the parking lot and the metering lights. Delays continue across the stand to Fremont Street. Getting there westbound 80, your bumper-to-bumper from Golden Mead Field to the Maze. In Mountain View, your second lane from the left blocked by a collision there. 85 northbound before Moffett Boulevard. Your taps the brake 6 minutes from 280. Checking the area weather, lots of sunshine for you. Our highs climb to 8 o'clock, 100 inland. Make sure you stay hydrated. 79 in Oakland, 82 Bayside, 69 in San Francisco. With Bay Area traffic and weather, Jess Summers on the Black Information Network.
Get Black business news every 30 minutes
on the Black Information Network.
In Bay Area, BIN 910.
I'm Amy Brown on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. San Francisco Mayor London Breed is offering the homeless a ticket out of town. The mayor earlier this week moved forward with her Journey Home Executive Directive. The directive orders all city departments and staff to offer relocation services in the form of a bus ticket out of town to homeless people before offering them shelter in the city. Part of the reason for the directive comes from new numbers that show there's been an increase in the number of homeless people in San Francisco coming to the city from elsewhere. Breed says San Francisco shelters are quickly reaching capacity. And repairs continue at the Oakland BART station following a fire that triggered numerous transit delays. Transit officials said Thursday that the fire in the electrical room at the 12th Street station last week was caused by an older gap breaker station that had been stated to be replaced. The fire caused 4 BART stations to be closed through the weekend, causing delays that were still being felt on the system well into the middle of the week. BART officials say the fire showed them that they have to move quicker to repair and replace aging equipment at numerous stations. And former CNN host Don Lemon is suing Elon Musk for canceling his show on the billionaire's social media platform X. The suit, filed earlier this week in San Francisco, accuses X of using Lemon's name and reputation to attract advertisers to make a profit. The first episode was recorded in March with Lemon interviewing Musk. The next day, according to the suit, Musk canceled the deal, which had promised Lemon $1.5 million annually, along with a percentage of the ad revenue. And the alleged bookie at the center of the betting scandal involving Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter is expected to plead guilty next Friday. Attorney Diane Bass is representing Matthew Boyer.
Government counsel and I have been working on this plea agreement for a very long time. Mr. Boyer is looking forward to accepting responsibility for his actions.
Boyer, a San Juan Capistrano, California resident, is facing federal charges for operating